Many of us have struggled with fatigue for some point of our lives. Maybe it has been due to being really worked up on that particular day, or maybe you've had feelings of numbness or dizziness. I'm sure many of you have experienced tingling in some part of the body for a brief moment. Now, imagine these symptoms, along with many others, being present all the time. You are now visualizing the life of a patient with multiple sclerosis. So many of us come from families with a long history of diseases, and because of this, we may find it important to be aware of our diseases in order to do whatever it is in our power to prevent getting them in the future. Now, the thing is though, many of the diseases that we do get are not necessarily inherited, and this is the case in multiple sclerosis, which is why this disease is particularly important to be aware of, as it can affect a wide range of people, no matter how healthy their line of genetic history may be. As someone who has been exposed to the effects of multiple sclerosis by a relative who has had the disease, I know that multiple sclerosis can take a toll on one's life. Now, however, with the help of medication, some of the symptoms can be lessened in severity. So today I will be talking to you about the causes and symptoms of multiple sclerosis, or MS. I will also speak about the current direction of research regarding this disease. Now, let's begin by pinpointing the site of MS in a nerve cell. So we are able to function as a result of our cells communicating by sending messages and signals to each other. Now, this picture over here represents a normal nerve cell, and this long line over here represents an axon. And any signal that the cell receives is transmitted along this axon. Now, the blue part over here is called the myelin sheath, and this myelin sheath is the substance that covers the axon, and it contains and preserves the signal as it is transmitted throughout the cell. Now, over here to the right is a cell with multiple sclerosis, and as you can see, the myelin sheath is damaged. Now, what causes the myelin sheath to be destroyed? So this happens as a result of immune cells leaking into the brain and mistaking the myelin sheath for a dangerous substance, and as a result, the immune cells attack it. Now, therefore, MS is an autoimmune disease. Now, without the myelin covering, the signals are more prone to escaping the axon and being released to the outside environment, and as a result, the cells receive the signals at a much slower pace, which leaves the cells unable to function as efficiently as they would. So here's an image that shows an MRI scan of a normal brain with one compared to an MRI scan with one diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And as you can see, there are multiple scars in the brain with MS, and these scars contribute to a variety of symptoms. And what exactly are some symptoms of MS? Let's go ahead and discuss some of them. Now, there's a wide range of symptoms caused by MS depending on what part of the body is affected, but common symptoms, however, include an unsteady gait, fatigue, vision problems, numbness, and bladder control problems. An unsteady gait is basically an abnormality in walking, and this is caused because the cells in charge of movement are being damaged by MS. So in a 2012 study conducted by Dr. Marvin M. Goldenberg states that 250,000 to 350,000 patients in the US have MS, and 50% of patients will need help walking within 15 years on the onset of the disease. In addition, vision problems are also a common symptom of people with MS, and a person with MS may also find it painful when moving their eyes. MS patients can also have trouble controlling their bladder, and this happens because nerve cells that are damaged by MS have trouble sending signals to areas in the body that are involved in bladder function, and as a result, people with MS may have difficulty in either letting out their urine or holding it in. Now, I have previously stated that MS is not necessarily an inherited disease. Then what exactly causes MS to occur? So, although the cause of MS is unknown, there are a variety of potential risk factors. So let's discuss some of those. So MS affects people in early adulthood. So the age groups of this disease is approximately 20 to 40 years old. And MS is more common in more temperate climates. And this is the northern US, Canada, and Europe. And one common assumption because of this is due to the fact that people with lower levels of vitamin D are more prone to having multiple sclerosis, because vitamin D supports immune function, and multiple sclerosis is an autoimmune disease. Now, with that being said, another risk factor is the Epstein-Barr virus. Any previous exposure to this disease has been shown and has been linked to a greater risk in developing MS. Now, according to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, these diseases this disease, the Epstein-Barr virus, has been linked to MS. So one of the goals of the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, or NMSS, as I've said, is to identify new risk factors contributing to the disease. According to the NMSS website, a 2005 study conducted in the journal Brian found that smoking increases the risk of having MS and it hastens its progression. So this, again, is some of the current research regarding MS. And one other newly found risk factor that has been studied is the concussions. So on October 18, 2017, Gretchen Reynolds wrote about a study in an article on the New York Times website, which supports the fact that concussions received from playing sports greatly increases the risk of developing MS. So now that we have summarized the diseases of MS, I would like to review the most important points to remember. So number one, multiple sclerosis is an autoimmune disease that destroys the myelin sheath and nerve cells, and this causes the brain to receive signals at a much slower rate, which causes a variety of symptoms. And number two, some common symptoms include vision problems, bladder control problems, as well as an unsteady gait. And number three, although the cause of MS is unknown, risk factors include vitamin D levels and certain infections. And number four, finally, current research regarding MS involves studying new risk factors like smoking and concussions. Now, all in all, multiple sclerosis is a disease with unfortunate effects on one's life. Hopefully this presentation has helped you gain awareness of this disease. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
How long was that? Oh my God.